Hey everybody, King Karma here, bringing you guys a D4 video really quick here. I was actually in the middle of doing some work and I saw that Wowhead posted unofficial patch notes for the D4 launch day. So wanted to run through this really quick with you guys just to give you this information, keep you informed. We have some general legendary aspect changes, some aspect changes for Barbarian, Druid, Rogue, and Necromancer coming in with some buffs, which is nice to see. We have some elixir changes as well, which I think are pretty much nerfs. So let's take a look at this here. Accelerating aspects. So crit strikes with core skills increase your attack speed by 15 to 25% for what was 3 seconds is now 5 seconds. This might be, I don't know if any builds are actually really using this. It might be a nice thing to just throw on as you're leveling to just give you some additional attack speed if your class, does a lot of crit and things like that. So kind of a nice little buff, maybe a nice little leveling aspect to throw on there. We also have the Barbarian changes here. So aspect of Ancestral Echoes. While Call the Ancients is on your action bar, so it's got to be at least on your action bar. Damaging enemies with Leap, Upheaval, or Whirlwind has up to a 40 to 50% chance to summon an Ancient to perform the same skill. So I don't know if this will be incorporated in any Whirlwind builds. We'll have to test it. But they also did remove can only happen once every 5 seconds. So now it is uncapped. It could be insane. I don't know. We'll have to test it out with Whirlwind and even Upheaval just to kind of see, like, if this is going to be something that's worth using or what. Let's see here, Druid. So Druid skills and talents. There is a lot of changes here for Druid. I will not take up too much of your time, but just go through these really quick here. So Cataclysm, the lucky hit chance was changed from 62% to 72%. Got 10% buff there. And then it looks like the storm actually lasts longer as well. So from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. So hopefully that's a nice little buff for the Druids if anybody's running Cataclysm in their leveling builds. Let's see, Petrify, looks like that got changed from 3 seconds to 3.75. Not really sure how much that is going to make a difference, but we shall see. The other notable change here against bosses, the crit strike damage bonus is increased by 50% and its duration is increased to 7.5 seconds. So instead of 6 seconds, it's 7.5 now. That should be pretty nice. That's a nice, crit strike damage bonus buff there. And they're giving us an additional 1.5 seconds. So hopefully that makes a decent difference for the Druids here. Grizzly Rage. So let's see. This is turning into Werebear form. It was 10, now it's 12 seconds. So 2 additional seconds for that, form to be up. You're going to get the damage bonuses and damage reduction. And the other notable thing I would say is it looks like they probably changed this. So it's actually easier for Druids to keep that buff up. Because kills do extend the duration by 1 second, up to 10 additional seconds. So it should be a lot easier for you guys to, those 2 extra seconds will be nice to keep that buff up. Lastly, here we have Lacerate, shapeshift into a werewolf. So this is werewolf form. Let's see, become immune and quickly dash. So instead of 10 times, you're now going to dash 12 times between enemies. And you're going to deal 500% damage instead of 400%. So it seems like kind of a crazy buff there. I'm not sure if the Druids have been using Lacerate as part of their kit or part of, any of the builds. I haven't checked on any Druid builds yet, but this might now be a viable option if they are not already. That's, like I said, 100% additional damage. So that's pretty nice. Down to the Rogue here, we have just dash getting a little bit of buff, 4%, nothing crazy, but hey, the Rogue players out there, you're blessed. Let's see, Golem. So these changes are actually pretty huge, I think, for Golem. So we have 17% to 21% damage on the Golem. And then we have absorbs 15% of damage you would take and recovers life when attacking. So essentially, it seems like this was just added completely to the Golem passive. So that's kind of major, I feel. Your Golem's going to be taking 15% of your damage that you would take, and then also it recovers its own life when it's attacking. So that is pretty huge. The next big thing here also is they added this. Drains the blood of enemies in an area, dealing 40% damage and healing 4% of its life for each enemy drained. damage and healing received are tripled if only one enemy is drained. So that's when you actually like activate your golem skill. And I feel like this is actually going to be huge because the damage here is going to be tripled if there's only one enemy. So if you're fighting a boss that doesn't have ads or things, or maybe there's a certain phase in that fight where you're going to save this cooldown to use it when there's no ads up, so you get that triple damage. Seems like that's going to be super nice for Necros. So there you go, Necros. And lastly, guys, we have the elixirs. Really just kind of some weird changes here. They've essentially, it looks like they've halved all of the increased crit strike chance percentages. So, this was 12, now it's 6 for at least for these. And then reduce some of these by 1% to 3%. Yeah, so some interesting changes. We have some buffs though as well to some of these. Crit strike damage is now increased by 30% instead of 25, and 35 instead of 25. So yeah, I think they're kind of just messing around with these elixirs to see where the best spot is for them. So that is it, fellas. That's what we got. So I appreciate you guys checking out the video again. King Karma, you guys can find me on twitch.tv/King Karma. I will be streaming Diablo 4 for about the next 10 days, probably 14 16 hours every day. So if you guys are interested, pop on by the stream. I will include this link in the bottom of the description for you guys, so you can go check these out yourselves if you want to. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Peace.